Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it looks like we have some interesting news pertaining to Donald J. Trump. Well, it seems that the court case is a little bit, might be dismissed, mostly due to the fact that it's a political attack, but more on to that later. It seems that this is a Trump case likely to be dismissed due to DOJ misconduct. The alleged behavior is undoubtedly flagrant and arguably unprecedented, and a judge would have every right to consider dismissal if the allegations were confirmed. Walter Nauta, a Navy valet who worked in Trump's White House, who continued to be a personal aide to Trump after he left office, is one of Trump's co-defendants. Former DOJ counterintelligence chief Jay Pratt, who is currently a member of special counsel Jack Smith's team of prosecutors, was named after the target of accusations made by Nauta's attorney, a renowned, highly esteemed Washington attorney named Stanley Woodward, a few weeks ago. According to news reports, Woodward claimed in a sealed letter to D.C. District Chief Judge James Boisberg that during a meeting to discuss Nauta's case, Pratt said that if he couldn't persuade Nauta to testify Trump, it might affect Woodward's application to be a D.C. Superior Judge. If confirmed, there is no reason why Woodward would fabricate such a threat, let alone risk his career by telling a federal judge such a thing. Pratt's alleged misconduct could lead to harsh penalties and even a reason to throw out the entire case of Nauta and Trump. Depending on the details of what was said, Pratt might even be charged with a crime. Courts have discretion to just completely dismiss indictments in situations where there was been egregious prosecutorial misconduct. U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon would be perfectly within her rights to consider a dismissal in this case, if Woodward's claims are validated. The alleged behavior is perhaps unprecedented, and unquestionably flagrant. Not amount to nothing less than an attempt by a senior DOJ official to deny a defendant his right to counsel under the Sixth Amendment through improper, possibly illegal actions. And I don't know why I cannot say unprecedented. It's like I have to say it quickly for whatever reason. So I am an actual autist in this situation here. I apologize. Trump and Nauta should at least receive an explanation in cases of alleged prosecutorial misconduct. Courts frequently permit the defense to conduct discovery, including dispositions and requests for documents and communications, to ascertain the depth, breadth, and consequences of any misconduct that may have taken place. To understand what Pratt said and why, the defense team in this case should ask for his testimony. The defense attorney should also make an effort to subpoena any communications between Pratt and others in the DOJ or the White House regarding Woodward's application for a judgeship or Pratt's general approach to Woodward. I anticipate that these communications will be illuminating and could point to additional wrongdoing by the DOJ, the Special Counsel's team, and their political overlords. All of this is undoubtedly unknown to the legal defense Trump and Nauta, and I have no doubt that they will vigorously pursue this and other lines of defense. However, the American people also have a right to be informed of the full contents of the Department of Justice senior officials' misconduct. Republicans in Congress should aggressively and publicly demand answers. The House Judiciary Committee has the authority to look into issues involving the federal court system administration of justice to find out what's going on. He has the authority to subpoena Pratt, the other attorneys working on the Trump prosecution, and top Biden administration officials. There is no doubt that this is a big deal. Pratt's actions might even be considered criminal by federal law. Depending on what exactly was said, Pratt's conduct and could constitute attempted witness, tampering in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1512B, attempted to federal bribery in the violation of 18 U.S.C., attempted extortion by a federal official in violation of 18 U.S.C. 872, or attempted subordination of perjury in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1622. 22. My bad. So, that's what's going on here. We have more here. That as ex-attorney claims on MSNBC, he witnessed 45 instances of DOJ misconduct. I know it sounds like I made that number up. It says here, former Trump attorney Tim Politor argued on MSNBC Tuesday that prosecutorial misconduct could derail Donald Trump's federal trial. Politor claimed to a highly skeptical panel that he was in the room and witnessed misconduct during the grand jury proceedings. What are the issues that you think would lead to this case never going to trial? Andrew Weissman asked during an MSNBC panel. The biggest issue, of course, Andy, is there's a prosecutorial misconduct, Polator said. Before laying out his accusations against the federal prosecutors, this is a case where you have prosecutors who have consistently just demonstrated lack of ethics and willingness to lie to federal judges in sealed proceedings. Willingness to, in the grand jury, openly suggest to the jurors that they may take the invocation of constitutional rights as evidence of guilt. Willingness to meet with an attorney for one of the witnesses suggests that his application for a judgeship is something that should be considered and is a reason to convince his client to change his mind. A skeptical Wisman interjected to ask how Polator knew of the alleged misconduct since grand juries usually operate in secret. Because I was in the room, Polator said. It happened right in front of me. Polator was a witness before the grand jury considering the classified documents case against Trump. Wisman then asked what Polator saw. 45 separate times. I know it sounds like I made that number up, but 45 separate times they tried to get into attorney-client privilege information, and frequently when the question was asked about conversations between attorney and client, they would turn to the grand jury and say, "So you're refusing to provide that information to the grand jury?" At a certain point, further exchange ensued where the prosecutor says, "Well, isn't it possible to waive the privilege? And if President Trump is being so cooperative, why will he waive the privilege and allow you to tell the jury about his conversations with you? That's totally improper. And I know, Andy, and that you know, had it happened during a jury trial. It would be a mistrial right there." So, yeah. What we're seeing here is obvious that this is a political attack. This is nothing more than that. And honestly, this is not really surprising. The Democrats are going after their opponents politically and using the law to attack people. This is not things that we do in the first world country, and this is not something that this is only something that's done in third world countries. Look at South Africa and Venezuela and all these other corrupt governments that do these exact same things, and it's chaotic and mayhem in those specific countries. We all knew this was politically motivated, alright? And if Trump actually did these things, then he should be arrested and put in jail. Obviously, if he is proven to violate a law, etc., etc. But as I went down before, any of the things that he would have been done would have had to be done in civil court instead of being charged criminally for it. So it's even the case in itself to where he was charged doesn't even make any sense. So it might be on the up and up for Donald Trump. Don't know. It could be dismissed. We'll see what happens. But as we know right now, Trump is on the high end. He's been getting a lot of support lately due to the charges, and I don't think that this is going to end very well for the Democrats at all. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Let's subscribe, share, and as always, take care.